right, good evening. Thank you all for being here. My name is Lieutenant Trent. I'm with the Village Fire Department. I have had the pleasure of teaching some of your family members in this fire academy, and I say pleasure, I use that word lightly. They have been stressful but fun. That's what all fire academies are. To my left, we have a couple of other instructors here with us that have also had the pleasure of doing it. We have Trenton Slattery with Moore, and we have Tevin Johnson with Edmond Fire Department. We have about 25 other instructors that couldn't be here tonight, but they have all assisted in getting your students or your family members through this academy, and it has been very fun. As you have seen in some of the pictures ahead, we have talked a little bit about the slideshow has shown a bunch of the skills that they've done. This slideshow will be posted online if you would like it. We will gladly send it to you if you don't have it. All the students will have it at the end as well, so you can be proud of everything they've accomplished. At this time, I'm going to bring them in, and we're going to do the ceremonial start. Okay. We have had the pleasure of teaching your students, or your family members, our students, about the importance of physical fitness in the fire academy. As a firefighter, you will need to be ready at any moment. And one thing that we start every day off with is an intense physical fitness regimen. Some of our students didn't realize what exercise was when they first came here. And so we've had quite a bit of improvement. I am very proud to have calculated some numbers here, and I just want to let you guys know how much they've improved. It is in very impressive numbers. We start off every academy with initial physical fitness plan. It's pretty basic. It is a 1.5 mile run, and it's timed. They have a 2-minute max push-up, those many push-ups as they can do, sit-ups, squats, and pull-ups. And they have 2 minutes to do all of these each. So one of our students, John Thompson, had the most impressive time for making up his run. He shaved off almost 6 minutes to his 1.5 mile time. Very impressive. Our next is pull-ups. So pull-ups are a new thing we've added to this new physical fitness regimen. And we had 2 students, Carson Garter and Grayson Mitchell, both improved by 9+ pull-ups. Our next was a push-up regimen. Again, max push-ups, hand release push-ups, and he improved by 29, and that was Luke Eisel. Sit-ups were the next thing, and Cash Walls improved sit-ups by 31 sit-ups in 2 minutes. Finally, our squat impressive moment was Ingrid Juarez improved by 44 squats. Very nice. We pride ourselves in the fire service in being physically fit at any moment. They've learned that, and hopefully they embody it and they keep it going. So that's y'all's job to keep them in line now. If you see them relaxing and not waking up at 5 o'clock to do some pull-ups and push-ups, you got to keep them honest, okay? Now I'm going to introduce our Director of Operations. He is kind of we call him Dad, or we call him Chief. He's a great guy. His name's Director Bennett. He's been at OSU since 2008? 2015 with OSU. He started off as an adjunct then and took over the program in 2018. Is that right? And We started off working out in a gym at OSU, and now we have a full physical fitness regimen. So it's come a long way. He's made it to what it is, and please put your hands together for Director Bennett.
Well, welcome. If I could get you to stand up, we're going to do the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Please be seated. This is probably the largest, well, I know for a fact this is the largest class that we've had since we started doing academies here in 2020. I've been running academies since 2009, and I can tell you honestly, this is one of my best classes. They did a very good job, and no, I do not say that to every class. I truly mean it when I say that this has been the best class we've had, and which is surprising because it is so large. While we're here, we try to build on ethics, behavior. You may have heard them say sir or ma'am once or twice. Hopefully, they at least do it when they're around me. I'm not PG, by the way. It's beneficial if you don't follow this. But we have a couple of traditions that we have in the fire service, and that's what I'm here to talk about. You heard the pipes. They play the pipes for them. The bagpipes have a long tradition in the American fire service. Back in the 1750s, the Irish potato famine forced a lot of Scotch Irish to come to the United States. They were not well received. And the only employment they could get was the jobs that no one wanted. And that was fire and police. Because back in those days, firefighters and police officers got killed frequently. Many, many funerals. And that's how they got started. Every time a firefighter would be killed in the line of duty, they would have basically a parade to the graveyard, playing the pipes, wearing the kilts, and that's how the traditions got started, and that's why we've carried it through to today. Another thing that we do is we have, and all your family members will receive these, our students, we have a challenge coin and a patch. The fire service is a paramilitary organization. Quite a few of the instructors are prior service military, myself included. And we've carried some of those traditions over. Hopefully their appearance shows that. There's one that we could really wish we could get a haircut out of. But they did threaten to shave his head a couple of times, at least his classmates did. We would never do that. But those paramilitary traditions carry over to the fire service, and part of that is the patch and the coins, which identifies you as part of the group. And if you look at the patches, at the bottom it says alumni on it. The only people that ever take these patches are people that complete our academy. Same thing with our coins. The only people that get those are people that complete our academy. So it kind of welcomes them into our special group. Okay? That is all I have for that, but I am going to bring up a guest speaker that we are very fortunate to have. Court Smith is a major with the Oklahoma City Fire Department with over 15 years of service. During his time with Oklahoma City, Major Smith has been the primary architect of the department's recruit training program. Over the last 8 years, he and his team have used a very unique approach to train over 400 firefighters for the Oklahoma City Fire Department. Major Smith also helped train firefighters from all over the state as an instructor at the OSFA State Fire School, where he taught hydraulics classes and hands-on training for 6 years in a row. He has been recognized numerous times by various organizations, to include the DEA and the ATF, and was awarded 2 Meritorious Service Medals and Medal of Valor, the Fire Service's highest honor. And please welcome Lady Smith.
Good evening. Thank you for having me. As Director Bennett said, my name is Court Smith. I'm a major with Oklahoma City Fire Department, the training division. As such, my primary duty is to run our recruit academy, which I've done for some time now, so I have some idea of what recruits go through. Also, I know most of the folks who train you guys, so I have a pretty good idea of what you guys have gone through. But more importantly, I know what it is you're walking into as new firefighters. So that's what I'd like to focus on today, talking about the training you've received over the last few months and relating it to the work you'll be doing in the future. And all you folks who came out here to support these guys, thank you so much for being here. Your firefighters have been through a lot in this program. I'm sure they've told you all about it. These men and women have decided to dedicate themselves to what I would call the greatest profession in the world. They wouldn't be here without your support. You should all feel very proud. But with your permission, I'd like to address not only you, but also these young firefighters. I have some things I'd like for y'all to keep in mind as you start your careers. First, for you folks in the crowd, I'd like to address a concern that some of you may have. By a show of hands, how many of you here would describe the profession of firefighting as dangerous or even deadly? Okay. As such, how many of you have a little bit of concern about the safety of your firefighter? Okay, that makes sense. It would seem that running into a burning building while others are running out would be inherently dangerous, and it can be. There's stuff in there that can kill us. Smoke, fire, the building itself is trying to collapse on us. However, statistically speaking, we firefighters are very safe. A lot of people don't know that. There are about 1 million firefighters in America. And of that 1 million, the number of firefighters who die annually due to burns, asphyxia, or structural collapse is about 10. Usually less than that, but we'll say 10 out of 1 million. That's 1 in every 100,000 firefighters who will die from the physical dangers of firefighting. That's 0.001%. The odds are very much in our favor. A few jobs that are statistically deadlier than firefighting, according to the Department of Labor: farmers, garbage men, mail carriers, crossing guards, just to name a few, and there's many more. Now, I don't want to downplay the tragedy of when a firefighter makes the ultimate sacrifice, and it is a tragedy every time. We'd all love for that number to be 0. I simply want to illustrate that this job is much, much safer than most people realize. I really just don't want you guys to worry too much. So, like I said before though, we go into environments that could kill us, so what is it that's keeping us safe? There have been a lot of advances in protective equipment and tools. They're responsible for a lot of that. Our gear can withstand more heat. Our air packs last longer. We understand fire behavior better than we ever have. But more than that, it's the expert training that you've all received in this academy. You've learned to mitigate the danger. That training, plus a cool head, is what's going to keep you alive and allow you to safely take risks in the performance of your duties. Honestly, what's killing most firefighters, about 60% of our line of duty deaths, are due to heart attacks. Firefighters will get out of shape and then they'll run headlong into extremely strenuous work in really harsh conditions, and unfortunately they'll pass away before their time. So if you really want to keep your firefighters safe, if you notice them getting out of shape, nudge them a little bit, say get in the gym and start eating your veggies. All right, you don't have to be ugly about it. Just say it's a safety issue. Okay, that's how you win any argument in the fire service. Call it a safety issue. Next, let me ask you young firefighters a question. How many of you like telling people that you're going to be a firefighter? I would imagine all of you, right? I love telling people I'm a firefighter. But why do we like telling people that? How does the public respond when we tell them we're firefighters? They revere us. They think we're all heroes. They immediately conjure images of firemen running through smoke and fire, carrying a baby in one hand and an axe in the other. They think about the Murrah bombing. They think about 9/11 and the 343. Sorry, excuse me. But here's the thing. They have no idea what we personally have done on the job. That image that they're conjuring up is based on the heroism of thousands who came before us over hundreds of years. It has nothing to do with what we have done. It has everything to do with that. You're a part of that now. Respect it. We owe a debt to all those who served before us, who gave their blood, sweat, and dedication to this profession to make it what it is. And every day from now until you make your last ride, payment is due. We stand on the shoulders of giants, and we're cashing in on their achievements, and that's okay. But what we have to keep in mind is that we have to do everything we can every single day to make sure that we leave this job better than we found it, so that in the future, firefighters can enjoy that same respect and reverence from the community. Hard work and sacrifice are traditions in the fire service. Keep those traditions alive. Respect the job, honor the past, preserve the traditions. Is that clear?
Sir.
Next thing, the word passion gets thrown around a lot in the fire service. I often ask people in the various classes I teach if they think that I am a passionate firefighter, and they always say yes. They say this because anyone who knows me knows that I'm really into my job. However, the truth is, I'm not at all passionate about my profession. I'm not a passionate firefighter. Sorry. I serve my department and my community without pride or passion. My community and my department come before any of my passions, and I am not too proud to serve in any way that they see fit. That shouldn't suggest that I'm not proud of the work I do or that I don't have a little bit of passion for it. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that I am a craftsman. The best firefighters I know are all craftsmen. A craftsman goes to work every day with a desire to master their craft, to get a little bit better every day. They're never satisfied, and they never will be satisfied, because the more they know, the more aware they become of what they don't know. Passion is a good thing, but it will only get you so far. A young firefighter fueled only by passion is not sustainable. I know that right now, sitting there, you guys are ready to do it. You want to get out there, you want to make fires, go crashing through walls, saving babies, and all the rest of it. This is going to be awesome. We're going to make a fire every day. Am I right? Of course. But that's not going to happen. That's your passion talking. And when you go out there and you don't make a fire every day, and then you don't make a fire alarm for a month, and then you don't make an alarm for 3 or 4 months, what's going to happen to that passion? It'll start to fade. You'll grow bored and resentful, and you'll feel like the job owes you something. You put all this time and effort into learning how to fight fire, and there's no fire to fight. Remember this, the job doesn't owe you anything. You'll be given a gift that you'll spend the rest of your lives paying for. Firefighter isn't something you earn, it's something you live up to. So live up to it. This is a profession. Scrap the passion. Be a craftsman. Learn everything you can. If you think you've learned everything just by going through this academy, I'm sorry to tell you, you're wrong. You've only scratched the surface. Don't wait 3 or 4 years to start learning new techniques. Go to conferences. Seek out different ways of doing things, and then test them all. There are 100 different ways to do anything on this job, but there's one most efficient, most effective way, and that makes it the right way. It won't, however, be the easy way. Don't be afraid of something that's labeled advanced just because you're new to this. Advanced just means it's a better way to do something. A single person high shoulder carry on a 24 isn't advanced. A single person on the nozzle on a 2.5 without a backup isn't advanced. Those are just the best ways of doing things. On my team, we have a rule. The words basic and advanced are not allowed. We teach the so-called advanced techniques to recruits because they're the best ways of doing things. I'm sure you've all learned a lot of those techniques here. There is no basic, there is no advanced. There is only the way. Find that best way of doing everything. Be grateful for the days that you don't make any rides. You'll have more time to learn your profession. Start asking questions and then find the answers. And every answer should present more questions. Start answering those. And don't be afraid of failure or looking stupid. You're going to fail. Make mistakes and learn from them. Sometimes you win, sometimes you learn. Mistakes are the single biggest and most important tool we have in fire service training, but only if we learn from them so that we never make those mistakes again. If that's your approach to the job, before you know it, you will be a master of your craft. If you need a model for success, look at the people who trained you. Chelsea Dillon, Brooks Farmer, all the rest of them, they are top-notch firefighters. Trent Slattery, right over there, one of the best young firefighters I've ever met. The reason that he's already emerging as a leader in his field isn't because he's passionate. It's because he's a craftsman. He's always bugging me wanting to learn something new. Be a craftsman, never stop learning, never stop preparing. Do the work. and then teach what you've learned to the next generation like these guys have done for you. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Last thing. In your training, I know you focused a great deal on the work and science of firefighting. You've learned how to throw ladders, force doors, pull lines, flow water, and all the rest of it. You've learned other things as well, but I'm fairly confident that the bulk of your time in the academy was spent on firefighting. So, if I were to ask you firefighters, or any of you out in the crowd, what is the purpose of firefighters when we show up to a structure fire? The obvious answer is firefighters are here to fight fire. The clue is in the name, right? If that's the answer you came up with, I'm sorry to tell you, you're wrong. The purpose of firefighters is not to fight fire. We are in the business of saving lives. Fighting fire, cutting up cars, making EMS rides, everything we do on the job is incidental to our one purpose of saving lives. Some of you may have heard people say when the fire goes out, everything gets better. That's not true. Things do not get better. They just stop getting worse. For the trapped civilians we're there to save, things have certainly not gotten any better. So here's what I want you to remember. Don't focus solely on the fire just because you're a firefighter. Expect fire so that when you see it, you won't be surprised. They called us there for a reason. Show up to every fire alarm thinking about the victims who are trapped. Show up to every fire in rescue mode. Don't get tunnel vision looking at the fire. Expect fire, expect victims, and don't listen when someone on scene tells you that everybody's out or it's a vacant structure. The structure isn't vacant until we say it is. When you show up on scene, there are flames blowing 20 feet high through the roof. I want you to look at it and think, that's neat, and then immediately start looking for places where we might still find victims. Think about where the fire is, and then think about where the fire isn't and where it's going, and think about the people who might be in its path. Don't think about survivable space. We can't determine that. Look for searchable space. Searchable space is any area that we can occupy in our gear and survive. Find that space, occupy the interior, get the victims out. We have 4 minutes to get all the victims out if we expect them to have a real chance of survival. So get on scene and go to work. We're safe. They're not. That's why you're wearing 70 pounds of gear. You've all heard risk a lot to save a lot, right? Those words are meaningless unless we live it. So be prepared to risk yourselves for the safety of others, for the safety of strangers, who will probably never say thank you. That's what you're signing up for. That's the commitment you make when you put on the gear. Mitigate the danger and go to work. You're now among the few who get to wear the gear that others can't wear, go the places others can't go, and save the lives that others can't save. That's what we do. That's who we are. And you're going to be one of us. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
After tonight, you guys are going to go and work for various departments. I wish you the best of luck. If you find yourself working for a department that doesn't espouse the ideas that we've talked about here today, either do what you can to change the culture of that department or find a new department. But regardless of the department you work for, I guarantee you one thing. Someday, at some point, someone's life is going to hang in the balance. That person will either live or die based on what you do or what you fail to do. I want you to embrace that responsibility. Live it. That's your motivation. Someday, someone's life will be in your hands. Act accordingly, rely on your training, do what feels right. I'm confident that all of you will do the right thing when your time comes. But for now, enjoy the day. Congratulations on this momentous achievement. I hope to see some of you in my own recruit academy someday. I'm sure I will, since basically all of you have applied with Oklahoma City. Thank you all very much, and again, congratulations.
Okay, at this time, I'd like to invite my fellow instructors up to the stage. Class of 23-3, please stand. McKelty Berry. Cade Brewer. Jared Bristow. Ethan Campbell. Ethan Dumite. Luke Eisel. Gibson Flemings. Bryson Ford. Kyle Franklin. Carson Garter. Aspen Granger. Miles Gregoire. Michael Horner. Faith Howell. Ingrid Juarez. Robert E. Lee. Vita Loretto. Brady Meyer. Mark Michelizzi. Reed Miller. Grayson Mitchell. Andrew Moore. Raiden Hollywood Musgrove. Bryson Pays. Cortelius Plunkett. Trey Pomeroy. Trevor Price. Caleb Reed. Brianna Robles. Gael Rodriguez. Gage Sanders. Jordan Smith. Hayden Stevens. James Stevenson. Vincent Tash. John Thompson. Cash Walls. Brendan Whitebead. Bobby Winans. Isaiah Wixom.
Y'all wanna know who the haircut was?
Ladies and gentlemen, class 23-3. At this time, I'd like to invite all of Class 23-3 up here to the stage. Every year, we give them a task of building a class flag. This flag hangs in the stables. Everyone who graduates gets to sign this flag. Where is Loretto? I believe she was spearheading this a little bit. Kind of had some ideas for this. We're really thankful for her. But we get to see this flag. We haven't seen it as instructors, but we're going to take a picture with it as a class. Families and friends, feel free to take pictures with us. Okay? After that, they're going to report back to their chairs for a session ending. Okay? Come on up, guys. We're going to have to cram in here. There's a lot of you. It's a big class. Oh, there's a lot of y'all. Get by me. What?
How you doing? I've been on my tippy toes, man. I've been on my tippy toes.
Is it bad times?
I ain't even seen this lady. I've seen it, but I haven't seen it since she put the bow on.
Oh, it's okay.
It's okay.
No.
Just in case, makes me scared.
You guys got to smile. Smile for these pictures.
My toes is hurting. My toes hurt.
3, 2, 1. All right. Give you 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Class 23-3, please return to your seats. At the end of every day, we have the students give a sign-off to end their day of class and their day of exercise. At this time, Instructor Johnson is going to begin that for us for their last time.
Before I dismiss, I just want to say it was a pleasure working with your family members. I will say I watched a lot of growth from day one to today. And that's what we try to, outside of all the certifications and the skills and all that, we try to at least, we tell them on day one, if you don't become a firefighter, this will still change your life if you trust the process. And I can 100% sure say they trusted the process, and y'all should notice it the most because y'all knew them more than we did. But y'all should know that who we are giving back to y'all tonight should be a more mature, well-rounded individual. And I want to say thank y'all to all of y'all for trusting them to come to this program with us. So I want y'all to give them a round of applause at this time.
At this time, this concludes our ceremony. Please feel free to finish off the refreshments. We have opened the stables right behind here. That's where they train and do all their studying. Please feel free to have them take you over there and look around if you guys would like. Thank you so much for coming.